Have you ever looked at someone incredibly intelligent, a doctor, a lawyer, a brilliant engineer, and wondered how they could possibly be struggling with money? It seems counterintuitive, right? You'd think being smart guarantees financial success. Well, today we're diving deep into the surprising reasons why even the brightest minds can make some seriously bad financial decisions. Stick around, because what you'll learn might just change the way you think about money forever. First up is overconfidence. When you're used to being the smartest person in the room, it's easy to think you can outsmart the market. You might believe you can pick the next big stock or time the market perfectly, ignoring the proven wisdom of diversification and long-term investing. This is what psychologists call the Dunning-Kruger effect in action. Smart people sometimes overestimate their competence in areas outside their expertise, like finance. They might dismiss sound advice from financial advisors, thinking, "I'm smart enough to figure this out on my own." But the stock market doesn't care about your IQ. It's a complex system that can humble even the most brilliant individuals. The second reason is something called analysis paralysis. Smart people love to gather information. They'll read every book, listen to every podcast, and analyze every single data point before making a decision. While research is good, too much of it can be crippling. You get so bogged down in the details and the what-ifs that you end up doing nothing at all. You wait for the perfect time to invest, the perfect stock to buy, or the perfect retirement plan to appear. Newsflash, perfect doesn't exist. While you're busy analyzing, the market is moving. And you're missing out on the power of compound interest, which is the single most important factor in building wealth over time. Sometimes, a good enough decision made today is far better than a perfect decision that never gets made. Next, let's talk about emotional decision-making. You might think intelligence acts as a shield against emotion, but that's not always true. In fact, sometimes highly intelligent people can be even more susceptible to emotional biases because they're so good at rationalizing their feelings. For example, during a market downturn, they might panic and sell everything. Their brilliant mind will then create a very convincing story about why it was the logical thing to do, based on economic indicators or global events. They aren't just feeling fear, they're intellectualizing it. This also applies to FOMO, the fear of missing out. When they see a friend get rich quick on a risky investment, their brain might justify jumping in without proper due diligence, because they feel the emotional pull of wanting to be part of the success story. Another major pitfall is lifestyle inflation. When you have a high-paying job, which many smart people do, it's incredibly easy to let your spending rise with your income. You get the bigger house, the fancier car, and the expensive vacations. You feel you've earned it, and you have. The problem is when spending keeps pace with or even outpaces earning. You might be making a six-figure salary, but if you're spending all of it, you're not actually building wealth. You're just living a more expensive version of paycheck to paycheck. It's a trap that's easy to fall into because it feels so normal. Everyone around you is doing it. But true financial freedom isn't about how much you make, it's about how much you keep and invest. So, what's the solution? It all comes down to humility and simplicity. First, be humble enough to admit you don't know everything. Acknowledge that finance is a specialized field and that listening to expert advice or sticking to time-tested principles isn't a sign of weakness, it's a sign of wisdom. Second, simplify your strategy. You don't need a complex portfolio of exotic assets to build wealth. For most people, consistently investing in low-cost index funds and letting them grow over decades is the most reliable path to financial success. It's boring, but it works. Automate your savings and investments so you don't have to think about them. This takes emotion and overthinking out of the equation. Ultimately, financial success is less about how smart you are and more about your behavior, your habits, and your discipline. It's about playing the long game. So whether you're a genius or just an average Joe, the rules are the same for everyone. Thanks so much for watching. If you found this helpful, give this video a like and hit that subscribe button for more content that makes you smarter about your money. See you in the next one.